Hi, in this video I want to show you how I've set up our BeachBoard account for EDS 450S. So I'm looking at it on my desktop computer using the student view, but if you're viewing it from a tablet or phone, your view may look different. So let's take a look at the content section. Before we go there, actually, down at the bottom here, this is the start here. It lists things I'd like you to do before our first meeting, but we're going to find them also on the content. So after the first initial, like, kind of general resource tabs, each of those is going to be a week, right? So every week has its own tab. But before we get to that, so the syllabus has its own link. There's frequent questions, virtual office hours. You can click here to get to the link for my drop-in office hours. They are going to be Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursday from 1:30 to 3. There's a place, student lounge, where you can discuss things with your classmates. And then here's a place where you can leave questions for me that are more general, not personal to you specifically. Okay, there's a Zoom link for our weekly class meeting. We'll be meeting on Zoom every Wednesday at 5. And the link will stay the same. And then there's one required textbook for this class. It's called Teaching History for Historical Literacy. And this is what it looks like. So I'd like you to order that as soon as possible. We'll start reading it in a couple of weeks. All right, so every week we'll have a tab. The first two are kind of unusual, but let me just go over what things I'd like you to do before we get started. So you're viewing this video, so you can check off number 1. Take a look at the tabs yourself, look at the content, take a look at the syllabus, edit your Zoom profile to include the name you'd like me to call you, and your personal pronoun preferences. Set up your BeachBoard notifications to get emails when I update the site. Join our Google class. The code is on the screen. You may need to sign up for a Google Gmail account if you don't have one. We're going to put a couple of assignments on Google Class, so if you could do that, it'd be terrific. And if you'd like to communicate with me via text, there is a remind instructions. It's on the first page. And then do the Meet Your Peers activity. Click that link to get there. All right, going forward, let's take a look at week 2. So every week I'll explain the general thing that we're going to talk about. I'll explain what the module that week's learning objectives are, how they connect to the overall course learning objectives, and then there'll be a to-do prior to the week. So here is the checklist for week 2. Notice that things are in either a read-watch, so sometimes you're reading, sometimes you're watching. Then there'll be a couple of assignments. Every week you'll be responding to the discussion board and to your classmates on that. All right, so when we look now at, going back to the content, right, there's also a connection here for how to get to what you're supposed to be reading or watching. So every week you'll see that. Some weeks there might be a link to, for example, every week will also be a class lecture. So in Zoom I'll have a slide deck to kind of go over what we're doing as a class. That'll be posted. Any assignments, for example, there will be an exit slip, there'll be a week 2 discussion board. So those will all be posted on BeachBoard. Yeah, I think that's enough to get you started. Take an opportunity, a few minutes to review it, become familiar with how it's organized. I've tried to make it pretty intuitive. Each week, come to the week, click on that, look at what's to do, go to the readings, click on the things you're supposed to read or watch, go to assignments, do anything that's listed there to do at that point. Okay, I'm looking forward to a great semester, and thanks for watching.